All right, welcome back to today's explainer. If you're the kind of person who absolutely loves pulling apart complex systems just to see exactly how they tick, well, you are in the right place. Let's just dive right into this. Today, we're exploring the architecture and the signal lifecycle of the Antigravity Trading System, specifically version 6.0. This is a system perfectly engineered to navigate the super strict regulatory waters of prop firms like Fintokei, all while running advanced AI models across multiple assets simultaneously. We are going to break down exactly how this machine operates, from the literal millisecond data enters the system all the way to execution. So, here is our roadmap for today. We'll systematically peel back the layers of this architecture, starting with a high-level system overview, moving into the Redis and ZeroMQ linkage, analyzing the FintokeiGuard defense, zooming in on the triple safety guard, and finally, unpacking its CSV-driven evolution.
Section 1. System Overview. The Multi-Symbol Engine.
To really understand this system, you got to look at how it wakes up. It goes through a strict 5-stage startup process. And notice what happens right out of the gate, the FintokeiGuard test. Before a single piece of market data is even processed, before any AI model is loaded into memory, the system actively verifies its risk limits, its CSV configurations, and all its safety guards. Only when that defense is 100% confirmed active does it boot up the unified receiver for external data, the MT5 feature collector, and finally, those master AI bots for golden NAS 100. It's a classic case of defense always preceding offense.
Moving right along to Section 2, the data journey, Redis and ZeroMQ linkage. Now that the system is online, we need to talk about data. Because, the lifeblood of any automated system is how fast and how efficiently it can move information. The system consumes a massive amount of external data, things like the US dollar index, 10-year treasury yields, volatility indices, the works. And here's how that flows. A webhook fires off from TradingView, routes through a highly secure Cloudflare tunnel to a unified receiver, and then instantly drops straight into Redis. Redis is basically acting as the system's central memory hub here. By pooling all this external data into Redis, both the Gold and NAS 100 AI bots can instantly grab a unified, real-time snapshot of the global markets to calculate their features. Okay, so once the AI crunches that data and decides to trade, how does the master account tell the slave account what to do? The answer is ZeroMQ, utilizing a publish and subscribe pattern. Think of ZeroMQ as an instant telepathy link between the two accounts. The exact millisecond the master USD bot executes a trade, it acts as a publisher, instantly broadcasting a super lightweight JSON signal containing the symbol, the stop loss, the take profit, and the magic number. Meanwhile, the slave bot, sitting quietly as a subscriber, instantly catches that signal. Now, what's really fascinating about the architecture of this slave executor is that it doesn't run any AI itself. It is designed purely for lightning-fast execution. Because it operates in Japanese yen, while the master is in US dollars, it actually handles real-time currency conversion on the fly for accurate risk sizing. But honestly, the most brilliant feature is the magic number 0 filter. Let's say a trader executes a tiny manual 0.01 lot trade on the master account just to meet a prop firm's minimum trading days requirement. Well, manual trades carry a magic number of 0. The ZeroMQ publisher strictly filters those out. This totally prevents accidental manual trades from ever copying over to the slave account. Which brings us to Section 3, Absolute Defense, FintokeiGuard. So, we have our signals flowing beautifully. But let's be real, in prop firm trading, making money is totally secondary to protecting capital. Let's look at this absolute fortress. FintokeiGuard is the central drawdown defense module. It ruthlessly evaluates every single move before execution. And it operates on a strict, unyielding principle. All time calculations are universally aligned to UTC-000. There is absolutely no guessing about local server times or New York close times scattered throughout the code. Everything is synchronized to a single, universal clock to perfectly match the prop firm's reset schedule. FintokeiGuard essentially consists of 7 distinct defensive layers. It actively tracks daily and overall drawdown, establishes an effective stop line right before the official prop firm failure limit, tracks consecutive losses, enforces a strict 15-minute cooldown between trades, and calculates safe lot sizes. It even features an emergency market close if a limit is suddenly breached. But the most crucial part here is how it handles multiple bots. It uses a single shared state file called daily_dd_state.json. If the gold bot takes a hit and triggers a drawdown lock, the NAS 100 bot instantly reads that exact same shared file and locks down too. The defense is entirely synchronized across the whole system.
Let's zoom in on defense number 6 from that list, Section 4, the checkpoint, Triple safety guard. This is the final checkpoint before a trade goes live to the market, and it operates on what we call the absolute golden rule of the anti-gravity system. The AI or technical logic decides the entry direction and exactly where the stop loss should be placed, based on current market volatility. Only after that distance is firmly established does the system calculate the lot size. It literally works backwards to ensure the potential loss perfectly matches the exact risk percentage allowed. The system never ever guesses your lot size. That theoretical lot size is then filtered through a flawless three-step process before it ever reaches the broker. First, the ceiling. The system looks at the maximum lot allowed by the broker and the maximum allowed in your custom CSV, and forces the lot size under whichever one is stricter. Second, step normalization. It mathematically rounds the lot size to the exact decimal step required by the broker, completely preventing those annoying floating point errors. And finally, the floor check. If the calculated lot is smaller than the broker's minimum requirement, the trade is simply aborted. The result? 0 errors and 0 broker rejections. And that naturally leads us to Section 5, the philosophy, CSV-driven evolution. Why did the developers actually build it this way?
In older versions, risk parameters were hard-coded directly into the Python scripts. Think about how rigid that is. If you wanted to change the risk rate for gold, you literally had to open the source code, find the specific variable, edit it, and just hope you didn't break a comma or indent somewhere else. It was static and super fragile, but the V6.0 design completely externalizes these settings into a dynamic, CSV-driven setup.
For example, in the new Fintokei account CSV file, the system simply searches for 2 keys, the account name and the symbol. So, for the Master Pro account, trading gold, you can easily set a 1% risk per trade. But for the Slave Challenge account, trading NAS 100, you can dial that down to a 0.5% risk and cap the max lot at 2.0. All of this is done in a simple spreadsheet. You never have to touch a single line of Python code to make these adjustments. Which leaves us with a pretty important question for anyone out there designing automated systems. Why go through all the effort to completely eliminate hard coding? Why not just leave the variables in the script for convenience? Well, by stripping out hard-coded values, this architecture achieves a whole new level of security and flexibility. It separates MT5 passwords and logins into totally isolated environment files, one for the master, one for the slave. It allows the FintokeiGuard to apply completely different symbol-specific risk logic to gold versus NAS 100 on the fly. If a CSV entry is missing, no problem. The system instantly falls back to safe defaults. But honestly, the biggest win is that it prevents human error. A trader just trying to tweak the risk profile can no longer accidentally cause a system-wide crash by making a typo in the core trading logic. Ultimately, the V6.0 anti-gravity system really is a masterclass in separating your logic from your configuration. It relies on Redis for unified market awareness, ZeroMQ for lightning-fast multi-account execution, and a strict CSV-driven defense to ensure capital is never overly exposed. Which leaves us with this final thought. When market conditions inevitably shift, or prop firms decide to update their complex rules overnight, is your trading architecture agile enough to adapt perfectly without rewriting a single line of code? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and as always, keep building smarter systems.